Welcome to the channel. Up next are amazing AI podcasters conjured by NotbookLM. They deep dive further into this video titled The AI Space is Moving at Lightspeed, SeeDance 2.0. The deep dives in this video are truly insightful, fun, and heartfelt. So grab a snack, sit back, and enjoy the video.
Okay, we have got to talk about this because the AI space is moving at, well, absolute light speed. Today, we're breaking down this new generation of AI video tools. And look, this isn't just another small step forward. No, this is a giant leap that's changing the entire creative landscape, like right now in front of our eyes. And that quote, that really just says it all, doesn't it? The latest stuff coming out of these AI video generators has the whole creative world going absolutely nuts. We are so far past just making cool little clips. We are now talking about getting the same quality, the same look, the same feel of a huge budget movie. That barrier they're talking about? Yeah, it's pretty much a ghost. So, to really wrap your head around what's going on, let's just look at 3 incredible examples that prove this is a total game changer. And trust me, these are not just tech demos, they're like windows into a whole new way of creating. Okay, first up, you have to see this clip of Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt in this insane brawl. What's so wild here is how the AI is using real specific cinematic language. You've got that perfect golden hour light hitting the LA skyline, you've got dramatic silhouettes, a really gritty set with debris everywhere. But the physics, the action, and get this, the fact that their voices actually sound real, it's staggering. This looks like a scene pulled from a $200 million summer blockbuster, but someone probably just typed in a couple of sentences to make it. All right, next up, and this one is for all the comic book fans out there. For years, DC fans have been dreaming about seeing a real showdown between Black Suit Superman and Darkseid. And while the studios were busy debating it, the AI just went ahead and did it. It perfectly captures that very specific Zack Snyder look. You know, the dramatic low angles, the washed out desaturated colors, even the little dust particles floating in the air. And it just shows that the fight choreography is genuinely exciting. The AI isn't just copying a style, it's pulling it off with real impact. And for our final example, we're doing something a little different. This is where AI steps in to settle a cinematic debate that's, almost 30 years old? The infamous door scene from Titanic. It's fixed. The AI created this incredibly emotional shot of Jack and Rose both safely on the door. And just look at the details here. The subtle, low-key lighting, that tight, emotional close-up, the deep blue of the night. It proves these tools can do more than just epic action. They can handle quiet, character-driven moments too. So the quality is just mind-blowing, right? But what's maybe even crazier is the speed, the unbelievable pace that all of this is developing, how fast something brand new becomes totally ancient. And this brings us to what I'm calling the AI obsolescence paradox. Literally just a few days ago, a competing AI tool came out, and everyone thought it was the absolute state of the art, the very best we'd ever seen. Well, today, after this new stuff dropped, that tool feels like it's from another century. Just think about that for a second. It shows us that in the world of AI, tools don't age in years anymore. They pretty much age in tweets. So what does this all boil down to? It's something huge. We are literally witnessing the death of the technical hurdle. For the first time in, ever, those massive walls that stood between a great idea and a stunning, high-quality visual, they're just crumbling away. And what does that actually mean for people? It means that a massive $100 million budget, you don't need it. A crew of 500 visual effects artists, not essential anymore. Spending 20 years of your life learning complicated technical software just to put your vision on screen, gone. Those requirements are just evaporating. This all points to a massive, fundamental shift, and it's really the core argument of this whole revolution. The most important thing for a creator is no longer about technical skill. It's becoming something way more personal. Look at it this way. In the past, the gatekeepers to making amazing things were all about technical skill, right? Your budget, your crew, your training. The new gatekeeper is taste. And it's not just about knowing what looks cool. It's taste in storytelling, in character, in creating an emotion. It all comes down to your vision, the quality of your story, and the power of your ideas. Skill isn't the gate anymore. Your taste is. You know, it really is like that classic line from The Wizard of Oz. We're now at a point where someone who isn't a filmmaker can build an entire massive world with perfect digital sets and costumes all from their couch. I honestly don't think we're in Kansas anymore. So, yeah, that's the whirlwind tour of where we are right now, today. The world is changing in real time as we're talking, and it all leads to one single massive question about what's coming next. So here it is. If this is what version 2.0 can do, creating visuals on par with Hollywood blockbusters from just a simple prompt, is the creative industry even remotely ready for what version 3.0 is going to bring? That's the question we're all left with.
To fully enjoy this portion of the video, please ensure CC, closed captions aka subtitle, is turned on.
Okay, so I want you to just picture a scenario for a second. It's, midnight. You're sitting in your bedroom, that classic blue light from your laptop on your face. You have this idea for a movie scene that's just been stuck in your head for years.
Right.
Maybe it's a specific action sequence or a dialogue beat that never made it into your favorite franchise. This is where the dream just dies.
That's where it stops.
Because you don't have $100 million, you don't have a crew of 500 people, and you definitely don't have Brad Pitt on speed dial.
That has been the reality for the entire history of cinema. There's the idea, and then there is the execution. And between those two things stood a massive, expensive wall.
But today we're talking about a crack in that wall. Actually, not even a crack. We're talking about the wall effectively turning into mist.
Yeah.
We're doing a deep dive into a new tool called SeeDance 2.0. And look, I get it. Every week there's a new game-changing AI tool. The fatigue is real. But the source material we're looking at today suggests this isn't just an upgrade, it's a completely different sport.
It really is. And to guide us through this, we're leaning pretty heavily on the experiments of a creator named Vandale.
Ah, Vandale.
If you don't know him, he's the mind behind the short story universe. This sprawling, multi-genre comic book world involving AI podcasters, epic narratives. The point is, he's not just reading press releases.
No, he's in the trenches.
He's in the trenches pushing this software to its breaking point.
He basically says the industry isn't ready.
Not even close.
So our mission today isn't to get into frame rates or, render times. We want to look at what this tool is actually outputting.
The specifics.
The specific, mind-bending examples Vandale flags. But more importantly, we need to talk about the psychological shift. Because if the barrier to creating a Hollywood blockbuster drops to $0 and zero skill, what happens to movies?
That is the question.
We've all seen AI video. It's usually floaty. It's dreamlike.
Right. The weirdness.
Yeah, people have 12 fingers or they turn into a bowl of spaghetti when they turn their heads. Is SeeDance 2.0 actually fixing that, or is this just better marketing?
No, I think the floaty days are. They're largely over. That's why Vandale calls it a ghosting of the barrier, the uncanny valley, that creepy feeling you get when something looks almost human but not quite. It's being bridged fast.
Prove it. Give me the examples.
Okay, all right, let's start with the action test. Vandale shared a generated clip involving two very specific, very expensive actors, Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt.
Two guys you rarely see together because the salary demand alone would probably bankrupt a small country.
Exactly. But in this clip, they are fighting on a rooftop. The setting is the Los Angeles skyline, but it's specific, it's golden hour lighting.
Oh, nice.
The sun is hitting the dust in the air, the silhouettes are high contrast. It looks like a Tony Scott movie from the 90s.
But how does it move? Because that's always the tell.
That is the aha moment. Vandale focuses on the physics. In older AI models, if Tom Cruise threw a punch, his arm might stretch weirdly, or the impact wouldn't really register on Pitt's face.
It looked like a video game glitch.
It did. Here, Vandale describes it as kick-butt action. There is weight. When a body hits the ground, it lands. There is debris scattered on the roof that reacts to their feet.
So object permanence is actually working.
It's working. And the voices. They are apparently indistinguishable from the real actors.
That's the part that feels, illegal, or at least ethically very complicated.
Oh, it's incredibly complicated legally, but technically, it's solved. You are looking at a sequence that, if you produced it traditionally, would require stunt coordinators, insurance, a second unit director, weeks of shooting, months of VFX cleanup.
And SeeDance 2.0 did it from what? A text prompt?
Basically, two guys fighting on a roof.
A bit more descriptive than that, I imagine, but yeah.
A few sentences, essentially.
See, that's just hard to get your head around. It makes me think about the value of the spectacle. We pay $20 to go to an IMAX theater because we know how hard it was to make that image.
You respect the budget.
You respect the budget. If I know some kid in Nebraska made it in his basement while eating cereal, does the spectacle still count?
That is the crisis of value we are heading straight for.
Yeah.
When epic becomes easy, does epic become boring?
Let's pull on that thread with the next example because this goes straight to the heart of fandoms and studios. Van Dale calls it the Snyderverse dream.
Ah, yes, this is a fascinating case study because it deals with what could have been.
Right. For those who aren't deep into DC Comics lore, there was this massive movement to get Zack Snyder's version of the Justice League movies made.
The Snyder Cut.
Exactly. And fans have been screaming for years to see a specific battle. Black Suit, Superman versus Darkseid, the War on Apocalypse.
Which the studio never made. Too expensive, wrong creative direction, moving on.
Oh.
The usual reasons.
But the fans never moved on. And now, according to Van Dale, they don't have to wait for Warner Brothers. SeeDance 2.0 just, well, it made it.
And it didn't just make it in some generic sense.
Yeah.
This is the key. Van Dale notes the specific aesthetic markers.
Okay.
The clip features that low-angle framing that Snyder loves. It has the desaturated high-contrast color grading. It even has the atmospheric dust particles floating in the air to give it that operatic, mythic scale.
So the AI understands style. It's not just a camera, it's a cinematographer that has studied Zack Snyder's entire filmography.
Precisely. It understands the visual language of a specific director. And the fight choreography is described as genuinely exciting. It's not just a mess of pixels, it's a war.
This shifts the power dynamic completely. Traditionally, the relationship is fans ask, studio decides.
And if the studio says no budget,
the fans go home sad. Now the fans say, fine, we'll do it ourselves.
it creates a massive disruption. If you are a studio executive, you are suddenly competing with your own audience. The audience can generate the sequel you refuse to make.
And if they have good taste, which we'll get to that later, it might look just as good as your official product.
It's the ultimate fan fiction, but it doesn't look like fan fiction. It looks like canon.
It challenges the very idea of canon. If the AI version is better than the studio version, which one do the fans accept?
That is a headache for the lawyers, for sure. But it's not just about big battles and superheroes. Van Dale brings up another example that I think is hilarious, but actually really profound. The Titanic. Oh, the door scene.
The door scene. For 30 years, we have argued about this. Could Jack and Rose both fit on that wooden door floating in the Atlantic?
James Cameron has done scientific studies to prove Jack had to die.
He has. He's very defensive about it.
Fair.
Well, SeeDance 2.0 doesn't care about James Cameron's defenses. Van Dale describes a generated clip that rectifies history. It's a tight, emotional, medium close-up. Low-key lighting, deep blue night exterior.
And again, just note the cinematic language. Low-key lighting, medium close-up. The AI is directing the emotion, not just the pixels.
And the visual. Both of them are on the door. It's buoyant. They are fine. The debate is visually settled.
What I love about this is the concept of rectification. We aren't just creating new stories, we are editing our cultural memory.
Oh, wow.
You can go back to Game of Thrones Season 8 and rewrite the ending. You can fix a plot hole in Star Wars.
It's interactive cinema.
It's fluid cinema. The movie is no longer a finished product that you just consume. It's a starting point that you can remix.
But here's the rub, right? We're talking about SeeDance 2.0, but Van Dale points out something terrifying about the timeline here. He mentions another tool, Kling 3.0.
The Kling paradox. This is essential to understand.
I feel like I only just heard about Kling 2.0.
Yeah, you probably did. Kling 3.0 dropped a few days ago relative to Van Dale's analysis.
Yeah.
But he makes this point that in AI years, a few days is a decade.
A decade.
He says Kling 3.0 is already centuries old compared to what SeeDance 2.0 is doing.
Centuries old. That is breathless speed.
It's exponential.
Yeah.
We used to measure software cycles in, 18-month blocks.
Yeah.
Adobe would release a new Photoshop every 2 years. Now, tools age in tweets.
Age in tweets.
By the time you finish reading a thread on X about how amazing Kling 3.0 is, SeeDance has released something that makes it look like a child's toy.
So what does that do to the creator? I mean, if I'm a VFX artist and I spent 20 years learning how to simulate wire physics, and then a tool comes out that does it instantly.
And then a week later, another tool comes out that does it better.
Right.
The technical hurdle is dead. That is the hard reality Van Dale is getting at. For a century, the barrier to entry for film was technical skill and money. You needed to know how to light a scene. You needed to know how to operate a Panaflex camera. You needed to know how to mix sound. Those were the gatekeepers.
And if you couldn't do those things, or pay someone who could, you didn't get to make a movie.
And now
Now the machine does the technical lifting. You don't need the crew. You don't need the money. You don't need the 20 years of training.
it sounds liberating.
Yeah.
It sounds like the democratization of art. Everyone gets a voice.
Ideally, yeah. But this brings us to Vandale's most profound point. And I think this is the part listeners really need to sit with. If the technical barrier is gone, what is left?
If everyone can do it, does it still matter?
Exactly. If I can generate a blockbuster, and you can generate a blockbuster, and your 6-year-old niece can generate a blockbuster, who wins?
Vandale's answer is simple. Taste.
Taste.
Taste becomes the new gatekeeper. He uses the Wizard of Oz analogy. He says, a non-filmmaker can now sit on their couch and build the Emerald City. They can design the costumes, render the yellow brick road, create the flying monkeys. But
But can they tell a story?
Can they tell a story?
Mm-hmm.
Because having a cool visual isn't a story.
Right. We've all seen movies that cost $300 million and looked beautiful, but were absolutely unwatchable.
because the pacing was off, the dialogue was cringe, or the characters had no motivation.
So the AI gives you the how, but it doesn't give you the why.
Precisely. And Vandale himself is the proof of concept here. He's not just generating random clips of Brad Pitt fighting. He's building this short story universe.
Right.
He's targeting a demographic ages 8 to 80. He's mixing genres, sci-fi, romance, humor. He has a vision.
He's curating.
He's curating.
Yeah.
And that is so much harder than technical skill. You can teach someone how to use a camera. It is very, very hard to teach someone good taste.
I want to push back on that slightly. Isn't taste subjective? Like, my taste in movies might be terrible compared to a film critic's. Won't this just lead to a flood of garbage?
Oh, absolutely. We're going to see a tsunami of technically perfect, soulless content. No question. But that's where the taste filter comes in. Because there will be so much content, the audience will become ruthless editors. We will only flock to the creators who have that special spark, the ability to pace a scene, to understand irony, to build tension.
So in a weird way, this puts more pressure on the human element. You can't hide behind a big budget anymore.
You are naked with your ideas. If your idea is boring, 8K resolution won't save you.
That is... that's daunting. It reminds me of photography. When cameras were expensive and hard to use, being a photographer was a job title. Now everyone has a camera in their pocket.
And yet we still hire professional photographers for weddings. Why? Because they have the eye.
Right.
They understand composition and lighting in a way the machine doesn't. SeeDance 2.0 is the camera in the pocket moment for Hollywood blockbusters.
So let's bring this back to the listener. We have people listening who are creators, people who are just fans, people who are maybe scared for their jobs. What's the takeaway here? Vandale seems to be operating on an adapt or die mentality.
He is. He's treating his laptop like a major studio lot. He's building sets, casting actors, and lighting scenes, all virtually. The implication is that if you have a story inside you, you no longer have an excuse not to tell it.
The I don't have the budget excuse is officially retired.
It's gone. But the I don't have a good story excuse, that one is more relevant than ever.
And Vandale ends on a bit of a warning note, doesn't he?
He does. He says, and I'm paraphrasing, if SeeDance 2.0 is this capable, the industry is absolutely not ready for SeeDance 3.0.
And knowing the age of tweets law, 3.0 is probably compiling as we speak.
It's the velocity that scares the industry. Studios plan movies 5 years out. They lock in budgets, release dates, marketing strategies. How do you plan for 5 years from now when the technology reinvents itself every 5 weeks?
You can't. You have to be agile.
You have to be locked in, as Vandale signs off. You have to be watching the horizon constantly.
We're going to wrap it up. This has been the dive into SeeDance 2.0 and the insights of Vandale. As always, the links to the source material are in the notes if you want to see these clips yourself.
And you really should.
Trust me, you need to see the Titanic one to believe it.
It is worth the click.
Stay curious, stay tasteful, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.
Take care.
Thanks for watching. Want to support the channel directly? My PayPal link is down in the description and also on my homepage. It helps me with creating more epic comic book content for this channel. Stay curious, keep imagining, and I'll see you in the next video.